Your world has shrunk to the size of a small glass eyepiece. Everything else, the smell of damp grass, the icy dew on your cheek, and the numbness in your legs, has ceased to exist. You are lying in a ghillie suit, a homemade camouflaged outfit that has spent the last 2 weeks soaking up mud, sweat, and fear. You have been here for 8 hours already. You are a candidate. This is your final stalking test. 30 yards ahead of you stand 2 instructors with high-powered binoculars. They know you are somewhere in this 10 by 10 yard square. If they catch a single glint from your lens or the slightest natural ripple in the grass, your dream dies right here. An ant crawls across your eyelid, but you don't even have the right to blink. Your breath is a slow, barely perceptible cycle, controlled so it doesn't leave a puff of steam in the cold morning air. Your mind is starting to play cruel tricks. A bush ahead looks like a human shape, and the rocks seem to slowly drift. This is cognitive overload. Suddenly, one of the instructors starts walking directly toward you. His heavy boot stops just 4 inches from your left hand. You feel the vibration of the earth. "I know you're here, son," he says softly, looking right over you. "Just stand up, admit you're cold, and want a hot shower. You aren't a sniper, just a guy in dirty rags." At that moment, a sharp cramp seizes your right calf. The pain is intense, like a knife strike. If you twitch even slightly to stretch the muscle, they will spot you. If you stay still, the cramp might become unbearable. Choice A: endure the paralyzing pain of the cramp. Force your mind to completely detach from your physical body, risking a loss of consciousness just to remain invisible. Choice B: slightly shift your leg under the cover of the thick grass, hoping the instructor won't notice the movement in the shadows. Out of the morning mist, right at the edge of the forest, a figure slowly emerges, one that shouldn't be here. It is a detective in a beige coat, his gray hair and beard covered in dewdrops. He looks thoughtful and stern, his piercing gaze scanning right through your layers of camouflage. This is Detective Jimmy. At that moment, a small creature crawls slowly and with great dignity out of his coat pocket. A snail in a minicoat and a fedora, his faithful, silent detective partner. It settles directly on Jimmy's lapel, crossing its tiny antennae. "Welcome to the world of silence, candidate," Jimmy says, pulling a heavy notebook from his pocket. His voice is calm and steady, not even causing a rustle in the leaves. By choosing not to move, you took the first step toward erasing your identity and turning yourself into an instrument. You just tricked your brain, blocking the pain signal from the cramp. My faithful snail detective thinks that's impressive self-control, but he also knows the real price will be collected later. We will be there at every rank you reach, watching you change. "24, 11:20, outskirts of a modern metropolis, rank marksman. You passed the school, and now you are the eyes and the long arm of your unit. Instead of a solo hunt, you work in a pair. Instead of the quiet of the range, you have the chaos of urban combat. The air is thick with the smell of burning rubber, brick dust, and exhaust. You and your partner have taken a position on the 4th floor of a half-destroyed commercial building. The mission: cover the group's advance across a critical intersection. In your scope, you see a group of people frantically fleeing the conflict zone. According to intelligence, an enemy spotter is hiding among them. He is calling in mortar strikes on your team. Your partner whispers, "I have a target." Third from the left in the gray jacket, He's holding something that looks like a phone. He's constantly looking around. Range is 450. Take the shot before he calls in the next volley. You settle the crosshairs on the man in the gray jacket. Your finger on the trigger feels the cold metal, but something feels off. A split-second glint of sun shows that he might not be holding a phone. Maybe it's a child's toy or an old radio from this distance. It's hard to tell. A second later, the first mortar shell lands behind your group, tearing up the asphalt. A few more seconds, and the next one will hit the guys. Jimmy, the detective in the beige coat, calmly steps out from behind a concrete pillar. His whiskered mentor in the mini-coat points its tiny body toward the person running in your scope. Target identification issues, Jimmy says calmly. His gaze is focused on your hands. One shot and you save your people, or you make a fatal mistake. In front of the whole city, your conscience is also a target marksman. The snail in the hat thinks there's a 40% chance of error. What is your price for the life of a comrade? Choice A. Pull the trigger immediately. Sniper ethics state, if there is a direct threat to the unit, you are obligated to eliminate it, accepting the risk of error. Choice B. Hesitate, trying to get full confirmation of the target. Risk the spotter calling in the coordinates and your team being annihilated by the mortar fire. (2025) 2:45. The foggy mountains of the Highlands. Rank, Scout Sniper. You are a ghost, deep behind enemy lines. Your mission has been going on for 3 days now. You haven't slept for over 50 hours. Your body has become a machine running on pure willpower. The surrounding area is filled with impenetrable fog and the scent of wet pine. Your task is to observe the movement of supply columns. You are lying on a rocky ledge with your partner. Suddenly, down on a narrow trail, a group of villagers appears. They are being chased by armed men. This isn't your war, but you see one of the pursuers raising his weapon. Your consciousness is starting to fray from the exhaustion. It feels like the snail in the fedora sitting on the barrel of your rifle is starting to give you advice out loud. These are hypnagogic hallucinations. You blink, and Detective Jimmy is there again. The man in the beige coat stands at the very edge of the cliff. His gray beard flows in the cold wind. You are here to gather intelligence, Jimmy says, without turning round. One shot will give away your position. Your mission will fail. The intel won't reach headquarters, and hundreds will suffer. Don't shoot, and these people right in front of you will suffer right now. It's I against we, which weighs more. My partner in the fedora says that a sniper is, first and foremost, about discipline. Choice A. Maintain your camouflage and continue the reconnaissance mission. Let the situation below play out without your intervention. Choice B. Take the shot to prevent the tragedy below, knowing that the full force of the enemy's search teams will descend on you. Valuable data will be lost. (2026) 14 o'clock. TIER-1 Command Center. Rank, Special Operations Sniper. You are at the top. You are no longer lying in the mud. You are sitting in a comfortable chair, thousands of miles from the target. Your vision is a drone's thermal camera. Your trigger is a button on a console. In the crosshairs is the car of a radical cell leader. He's driving on a busy highway. You've waited for this moment a long time, but a second later, the car pulls into a residential area. It stops near a critical social facility. The target gets out of the car, surrounded by people. Jimmy sits next to you in a leather chair. The detective in the beige coat thoughtfully turns an old notebook in his fingers. His gray hair is lit by the glow of the monitors. The snail in the mini coat and fedora crawls along the edge of the keyboard. Before, you saw your target's eyes through a lens, Jimmy says quietly. You felt the recoil in your shoulder. Now, you just press a button. Does that make you a god or an executioner? Remote elimination gives a false sense of impunity, but the brain remembers everything. If you press it now, the collateral risk is huge. If you let him go, he disappears and organizes the next act of aggression. Well, Captain, choice A. Strike immediately, eliminating the target at any cost, accepting the weight of the consequences for the sake of the future security. Choice B. Abort the strike, let the target go, choosing to maintain your moral principles here and now. Conclusion: the monitor screen goes dark. In the office or on the rocky cliff, wherever you found yourself, silence falls. You've traveled the path from a muddy ditch to digital power. Jimmy slowly stands up, straightening his beige coat. His gray hair and beard look even whiter in the silence. The sniper profession isn't about shooting, Detective Jimmy says. It's about isolation, physical and moral. You learned to be invisible to the enemy, but will you be able to look in the mirror every morning? My faithful partner thinks that the archives today will be especially heavy. It's time to find out what a sniper's own head actually does to them. The snail in the hat slowly points its antennae toward a massive steel door. Labeled Archive, it creaks open with a groan. Jimmy's Archive. Welcome to the archive. We are here to turn your combat stress into understandable charts and facts. Sniper work is a unique mental load. Situation, the range, cognitive endurance, and sensory suppression. When you lie still for hours, your brain starts generating stimuli from nothing. Research shows that in uniform environments, the brain shuts down, filters, and starts drawing hallucinations. Choosing to endure the pain of a cramp is an act of the cerebral cortex. Situation, urban combat, the target identification paradox. In chaotic conditions, the brain is prone to perceptual distortion. If you expect a threat, your brain will fill in a dangerous object. Hesitating in this case is a battle between instant impulse and rational thinking. Situation, the mountains, sleep deprivation, and personality fragmentation. After 48 hours without sleep, the brain begins microsleep. Parts of the cortex shut down for milliseconds. This leads to a loss of empathy. An exhausted sniper perceives the world as a chessboard and people as pieces. Your choice is a test of whether your brain's mechanisms for morality remain intact. Situation, command center, remote empathy detonation. This is a dangerous phenomenon. When you act through a screen, your brain doesn't trigger the usual mechanisms of empathy. There's no smell, no direct contact. This leads to delayed moral injury. The guilt doesn't come immediately. It accumulates over years. The brain cannot instantly grasp the full weight of pressing a button.
Author's word. Hi friends, it's the creator of the Detective Jimmy and Snail channel. And honestly, after this script, I need to sit in silence for a bit myself. This sniper's journey. It's not just about the military. It's about every one of us. Breaking down the cognitive endurance case. I remembered when I first started this project. There were months when I sat over scripts, feeling like I was just banging my head against a wall. No reach, total silence. In moments like that, the brain draws hallucinations to, you won't make it. But that sniper-like endurance adjusts. Staying there and doing your job, that's what helped me be here now. The confirmation bias. Case. How often do we see what we want to see in the people close to us? We fill in qualities they don't have or see a threat where none exists. I've made those mistakes myself, and the price was high. Psychology in a rifle scope and in life is the same thing. And the loss of empathy from exhaustion. In our fast-paced world, we all often work to the point of burnout. In those moments, I find myself becoming sharp with friends. We are all sometimes snipers in the fog, forgetting why we are even there. And the final part. Pressing a button from a comfortable chair. In the world of social media, we've all become remote shooters. One comment, one like, we press a button without seeing the eyes of the person. We think it means nothing, but our conscience still keeps score. I really want to know, which of these sniper levels felt the scariest to you? Where would you have faltered? Head over to our community tab on YouTube. I've already prepared polls. Let's look at our collective stats. Who among us is a pragmatist and who is a romantic? I'll be waiting for you in Discord. Subscribe. Leave a like for Jimmy and the Snail. Be precise. Talk soon.